up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our Week 14 Power Rankings. This is where we discuss who our top 10 teams in the NFL are headed into Week 14. Starting off at number 10, making their way onto this list for the first time this season. We've had a few first-timers the last few weeks. We've got ourselves the Green Bay Packers. The Packers have turned their season around completely, and now they're in a prime position to snag a wild card spot after a huge upset win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Jordan Love, the last 3 weeks, has been playing like a monster. They've beaten the Chiefs and the Lions and are just looking like a pretty darn good football team that are hard to beat right now, and they have got themselves together at the right time in the year. T-Bone, your thoughts?
No, I mean, really, this last 3 game stretch has been just amazing. They really got their act together over, the beginning of the year where they were kind of shaky. So they're looking to make some moves in a very, very shaky NFC. They can do it. They can do it. And taking down the Titans, known as the Chiefs, Titans is in, the creature. And they're definitely they have earned they've earned this top spot right here.
Absolutely. And the thing with Green Bay is if they can carry this momentum and if they can consistently keep playing like this, that'll bode well for them in the playoffs because of the lack of consistency. It just comes to if you run into the Eagles or 49ers, how well would they fare? But they've upset some big dogs this year, so who says they can't do it again? Alrighty, coming in at number 9, we've got ourselves the Denver Broncos. The Broncos fall to the Texans in a tough one this week, snapping their 5-game winning streak, but they have put themselves in a good position to try to sneak into the wild card in what is a very competitive AFC race at the moment. A lot of different teams hovering around or just above that 500 mark, right where the fringe of the wild card is. Well, the Broncos have turned their season around incredibly well and are playing well against good teams, have beaten some very good teams, and have been competitive in their recent losses. Losing to the Texans. Texans are a good team. They're a tough team to beat, and it was a very, very close game. So the Broncos doing well, playing well at the right time, just like the Packers. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, and there really is no shame in losing to the Texans. I mean, other than the fact that it's a loss, it's the Texans. They're a good team. You hear that? The Texans are a good team. So good teams will lose against good teams. That does not just that loss from the Texans does not take away from the fact that they won a 5-game win streak and are now put in prime position. They are where they want to be. They can just have to buckle down and just, have some smooth sailing for the rest of the week or rest of the season, and they can make a playoff spot. They can. So that's why they're right here.
Absolutely. And again, the Broncos and the Packers, their seasons feel very, very similar to each other, in which it was a rough start, and then the last few weeks they've really picked it up, and they're playing well at the right time. And the Broncos, the AFC is much less stable than the NFC in terms of the best teams, so if the Broncos can keep playing this way, I can see them going on a very, very deep playoff run, just because of how poorly everyone in the AFC is playing, even the best teams. The one team that, stands out to me is, they might be the one consistency, the Ravens. But Broncos, good enough to make some noise, that's for darn sure. Alrighty, coming in at number 8, we've got ourselves the Houston Texans. The Texans defeat the aforementioned Broncos in a tight one, and that game is massive for them, both in their division race, with the Jaguars losing this week, and in the wild card race. So a huge, 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 huge win for the Houston Texans, taking advantage of that opportunity, and they've put themselves in a pretty good position to make the playoffs, whether it's by winning their division or getting a wild card spot. CJ Stroud continues to play good football, looking really good, and Texans have been one of the more reliable teams this year, although there is a bit of a consistency issue. T-Bone, your thoughts?
There is a little bit of consistency issue, I won't lie. But that being said, especially with the unknown, or at least for me, unknown injury of Trevor Lawrence, they can make moves if they can keep winning. And though they lost their wide receiver, or one of their star wide receivers, CJ Stroud has proven that he can make something of nothing. I mean, see the whole Texans season. So I'm very, very looking forward to the rest of the year with the Texans, and that's why they're here.
Absolutely. The Texans got a bit to work on, and obviously going to have to see how resilient are they with the Tank Dell injury, but they've done well up to this point, so there's no reason to doubt them right now. Alrighty, coming in at number 7, we've got ourselves the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the crap out of another bad team. That's been their season. Play a bunch of bad teams, beat the crap out of them. Play a good team, fall apart completely. That's Miami to a T. They got a bad team this week, beat the crap out of them. Their record is very good, mostly because there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of bad teams in the NFL this year. But credit to the Dolphins for winning the games they're supposed to win. That alone gets you on this list. So obviously some big questions about once they run into like a really good team, how well are they actually going to play? But regardless, they've won a lot of games and have put themselves in a very, very good position. T-Bone, your thoughts?
No, I mean, record-wise and skill-wise, they have put themselves in a very nice position, but it really has been the whole season of just the Dolphins hurting on some bad teams. So it's really exciting to see. As mediocre as this league has gotten this year, it's also very exciting because you see, all of these teams, there's a lot of chances, a lot of different teams could make the playoffs. And I'm excited to see, I can only point to like maybe 5 teams at the most that could make the Super Bowl. So, and just seeing the rest of them, try and vie for spots, it's really interesting. Back to the Dolphins, it really, you got to watch out for the fact that they really haven't beaten on any really good teams. So Tyreek Hill is my MVP favorite. That being said, you cannot drop 70 on someone and, beat a bunch and have a 9-3 record and not at least be at spot number 7, So that's why they're here, despite their fact that it's only been bad teams. 9-3 is 9-3, baby.
Absolutely. The Dolphins got to answer some questions, but they honestly haven't been given the opportunity to. That's just fortunate with the way their schedule worked out, but, we'll see what they're able to do in the future. Alrighty, coming in at number 6, we've got ourselves the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs fall to the Green Bay Packers in a tough one. Not the kind of performance that they wanted to have. Obviously, they're going to complain about the officiating at the end with the missed pass interference while completely ignoring the part where Patrick Mahomes was given a free 15 yards for a shoulder-to-shoulder hit in bounds. And they're also going to ignore the part where MVS was tackled and was brought backwards out of bounds, which meant the clock should have kept running. But they stopped with the clock. Why, I don't know. Actually, yes, I do. It's because they're the Chiefs, that's why. Chiefs will be like, the Hail Mary, and the Packers fans will be like, did you watch the rest of the game? And not going to lie, the Packers fans have a point. But the Chiefs, underperforming this year. The offense just doesn't look great. Patrick Mahomes feels almost comparable statistically to Tony DeVito. Like, someone actually did a stat comparison, at least in terms of percentages, because DeVito has a smaller sample size, but from a percentage standpoint, they're the same. So, it's just the Chiefs underwhelming this year. Something feels off, and it's weird saying that because they have one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. So, but they're normally you can trust them to like, oh, they're gonna do well, they're gonna go far, and it's like, I don't trust them a lot right now, and the only reason I can see them going far is purely because everyone else also sucks and is underperforming. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Really is. I mean, everyone is underperforming. This has been an odd year. I know Tom got a lot of hate for saying that, but I agree. I agree. So, you lose to Jordan Love. There's no way we're not going to drop you at least one spot. I obviously think the Chiefs are always in it. They're always going to be competing a little bit, but with games like these, it makes you wonder. So that's why they're here. I think this is the first time either ever in this series or in a long while, that the Chiefs have been on the right side of the list. So, and to the talk about the reffing, the Green Bay Packers had some bad stuff, and Chiefs, that's your penance for the AFC Championship and Super Bowl. The devil's going to get his due somehow. So, that's all I got to say about that.
I think the devil will get his due a little later down the road, but it is refreshing to see a call not go their way for once.
Very nice.
Alrighty, coming in at number 5, we've got ourselves the Detroit Lions. The Lions getting the job done against the Saints. Got a big lead early. Saints crawled back, but the Lions were able to fend them off. A bit shaky, causing a few heart attacks, which Lions fans, I think, could use a little less of right now. When the Lions, regardless, have put themselves in a great position to win their division and have a good seeding, obviously it's going to be tough getting past the 49ers or the Eagles, but with the Eagles losing this past week to San Francisco, there is a potential opportunity for the Lions to, maybe slip into that number 2 seed. Regardless, they're still a good team, even if the last couple of weeks they've been a little bit shaky. Obviously going to have to keep an eye on that. If they continue to falter, then that can really, really hurt them. And we talk about the faltering, they moved up on this list. That's more because of other teams' failures than their successes, if that makes sense. So, T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. They have been a little bit shaky, but a win is a win. 9-3 is 9-3, and so they're going to have to lock down. While some teams are going to have to, maybe ease off the pedal off the gas a little bit. The Lions are going to have to ramp up and put the pedal to the metal a little bit. So that being said, they're still a great team. Got a great offense, a solid defense, solid special teams. So you just gotta find out what you just gotta keep smooth sailing for the next couple of weeks, and you'll be fine. But that's why they're here.
Absolutely. Regardless of their struggles, they're still a well-built and well-coached, minus a few game management things, team. And even with the stiff competition, that'll keep them in tough games. Alrighty, coming in at number 4, we've got ourselves the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys coming off of a nice win on Thursday Night Football over the Seattle Seahawks, won 41-35 in an absolute shootout. Did not punt the ball once, and overall had a great day against a pretty darn good Seattle team. And the Cowboys have looked like one of the best teams in the NFL and one of the most consistent teams in the NFL. Only one loss that I still don't understand. Again, what the heck, Arizona? Cowboys lost 3 games this year. 1 to the Eagles, one of the 49ers, and those are the two best teams in the league. And then, again, Arizona. I will never understand that game. But anyways, the Cowboys. Obviously, they had tough losses to both Philly and San Fran, but just looking at this team, they're very, very talented, and regardless of their coaching issues, it feels like this is the team that has the most potential to beat the fraud allegations come the playoffs. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Certainly, out of all the Cowboys teams of recent, this is one of the ones that can definitely make some moves and beat fraud allegations. Even the one last year that went to the divisional round. No. I feel like this Cowboys team can make some moves. They're one of the teams I can point to and say you could make the Super Bowl. And it's not because of Dak. It's not because of Dak. He's a good quarterback. He's not the MVP, folks. Come on now. So, yeah, they've been performing well. So it's interesting to see. Come playoff time, I'll be very hyped to see what they got to do.
Absolutely. They're a well-built squad, and they're tough for anyone to beat. Alrighty, coming in at number 3, we've got ourselves the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens coming off of a bye week. They're well rested, and well, I think they're going to be pretty happy with the results of this week. Both the Chiefs and the Jaguars losing, which will propel them into the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they look like the number 1 team in the AFC. Lamar Jackson playing very, very well. They're a team that had to overcome a lot this year, especially with injuries, and they have played very resiliently. Obviously, Mark Andrews' recent injury sucks, and we haven't seen how well they would do without him, just because they were on the bye this week, but regardless, so far the Ravens have looked like the best and most consistent team in the AFC. T-Bone, your thoughts?
By far the most consistent, and despite all those injuries, they've got a lot of those injuries to worry about, but they are doing just fine. So it's fun to see, and depending on how deep the run goes in the playoffs, you could see J.K. Dobbins coming back. So, really interesting to see, really nice to see, and really, out of all the quarterbacks, maybe stats aren't exactly showing, but I would say Lamar Jackson, quarterback-wise, is one of the most valuable.
Absolutely, and both he and the Ravens have kind of flew under the radar this year, which I don't think they mind. Alrighty, coming in at number 2, we've got ourselves the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles fall out of the number 1 spot after losing to the San Francisco 49ers. The Eagles still hold the number 1 seed in the NFC, though, but losing that game was a missed opportunity for them to basically set themselves apart from the rest of the conference and effectively clinch the 1 seed. Now they're going to have to be really, really tough down the stretch if they want to hold on. If they slip up one time, San Francisco's got that tiebreaker on them. But regardless, the Eagles are still an incredibly well-built team who just had a bad week. They're a team that I think could easily come back and beat San Francisco, although they definitely be the underdogs. But they're well-built, they're well-coached, they're just great on all sides of the ball, and it's a big reason why they have the best record in the NFL. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Yeah, that loss really did take them down a notch, but they still are a very, very great team, and you can definitely see it. But that win could have helped them a lot with the number 1 seed, as you said. But it's unfortunate, but oh well. So it'll be exciting to see the rest, and there's still rest of the week or season, and they still got a great team. It's just the fact that it wasn't able to pan out for them this time.
No, I mean, they're a good team. They are one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, and it's because they've played consistently good football, which is rare these days. And claiming the number 1 spot from the Eagles, we've got ourselves the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners head into town and absolutely clobber the reigning 1 seed Eagles, and they have put themselves in a great position to overtake the Eagles for the number 1 seed in the NFC. They put themselves in a great position to win their division, and they are just playing better football than anyone else in this entire league. And I think it's become pretty clear that that little 3-game hiccup that they had was exactly what it sounds like, a hiccup. It is not indicative of what this team is, and I think they understand that, and they are doing a job of not letting that get to them. And they're on a roll right now, playing some excellent, excellent football. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Oh, big time. That's what it is. At least for me, I think it was a hiccup. And I think they are standing on business now, and they are getting stuff done, taking care of business, getting it done. So I'm very excited to see the rest of the season, see what they do with it, and yes, I have CMC as my MVP runner-up, and even though Brock's good, I don't think he's MVP, but I think the San Francisco 49ers are a very, very good team, and a team in a league full of mid teams. They are standing above the rest.
Absolutely, and right now they're my favorites to win the Super Bowl. I cannot see a lot of teams on this list beating them at all. It's going to take a Herculean effort to do so. Alrighty, that is going to round out our top 10. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Packers. Number 9, the Broncos. Number 8, the Texans. Number 7, the Dolphins. Number 6, the Chiefs. Number 5, the Lions. Number 4, the Cowboys. Number 3, the Ravens. Number 2, the Eagles. And number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.